Hey, well, welcome back to the Quick Speed Shop. Today's the day. The time has come. This job I've been dreading to do. We're going to try to build some exhaust for this Ford flathead in my 37 Ford so we can get this motor fired up. I think it's going to be a struggle, but let's go into the car. We'll take a look. Bam. I'm going to do it right now. You're going to want to watch. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to start out under the car here. This is the driver's side. Here's the wiring harness here, the headlight switch, the steering box, which apparently is leaking. And you can see here the driver's side manifold. Originally this would have crossed over under the oil pan here, but now we want to run dual exhaust. Over here is the passenger side pipe here, and actually you can see I got a pipe kind of hung in here. The really hard part is going to be running the exhaust around the steering box, not setting the wires on fire, and it's got to get up to this this hole in the frame where the clutch arm is here. And then get back there to go through the hole with the bolt hole on it, back through the frame. If you watch one of my previous videos, you saw I went down in my box truck and I've got a whole bunch of new old stockled exhaust pipes from a bunch of cars. This is a 41 Plymouth head pipe, and I was doing some figuring here. I've got it kind of just hung in the frame, going under the wishbone, and then it kicks up. It's got a flat spot in here. And then it kicks up through the hole in the frame where it's supposed to go. And I was trying to do like an easier exhaust, not going through the frame up here in the beginning. Just kind of cutting the head pipe here and then going down under the wishbone and then popping up in the frame on both sides. The passenger side, that would be pretty easy to do. See, I've got two of these pipes. On the driver's side over here, it would be a lot more difficult. Try and get this in here. It'd be a lot more difficult. See here, the pipe would hang pretty low. It would hit the steering. It would kind of hang kind of too low, and it'd be near the wiring. I can make it work here, but eventually it would get back up where it's got to be to get in there. I can do a bunch of slicing and dicing. But I have options. What I'm doing now is I'm pulling the manifold out because I want to try a set. I got a set of flathead headers that actually are made to point through the factory frame holes. So I want to see if they'll fit with the steering box first. So I'm pulling the driver's side manifold out. When I get that out, we'll take a look at the headers. Okay, I pulled off the exhaust manifold, which appears to have a bunch of oil on it. So the manifold goes like this. This is the front here, so the steering box is here. It's pretty close to the box. And I got these headers, which I thought were the correct headers for 3741. You can see here that they bolt on this side of the driver's side, but the center tube hits the steering box. There's no way this will fit in the car. No way it hits here. I couldn't even get it up in the car. So I've actually got multiple sets. This is a set of 49 to 51 8BA headers. I tried them because they seemed like they had more of a severe cut, but the same thing. The middle pipe, you can see the grease on it. The middle pipe hits the thing. And I got this real bougie set here that somebody like torched and cut and booger welded all back together. But it looks like that would still go. These are more for like display on some old junk flathead motor. I don't think, well, the headers I have aren't going to work, so I'm going to have to, I'll go in the basement. I'll see if I can find another manifold that might work. And if not, we're going to have to take them Plymouth head pipes and build down. The driver's side's going to be really complicated to try to go around the steering box and the all that stuff. I might have to come around at an angle. I wish they had the V8 head pipes. So these are bolt-on stock manifolds. They're out of production because like everything's out of production now, and that would really, having the head pipes that really do help me out because then I could just build from the car back. But I went in the basement. I didn't have any more different style manifolds except for 8BA manifolds, which won't work. I had another set of nice 40 Ford manifolds here. They're in nice shape, not really pitted, but I'm just gonna use the ones that are on the car. What I did find was a crossover, factory crossover pipe from the driver's side manifold that went up to the tie-in of the passenger side manifold. Might be able to use this a little bit. And there, so I grabbed that. Well, it's the next day. I went out in the box truck where I got all my new old stock exhaust systems. Pulled out some more pipes. So we got here 4041 Plymouth, 39 Plymouth. I think those are Pontiacs, 39 Pontiac. So I got a bunch of pipes here to cut up for pieces. They got some good bends here. Hopefully I can get back around. The secret to making your flathead sound good is small diameter pipes, like 1 5/8 or 1 3/4 max. These look like they're 1 5/8, and those bigger ones, they're probably 8-cylinder Pontiacs. They would have been 1 3/4. But I got a bunch of pipe here I can cut up. Like I said, these are all just real mile gauge, 16 gauge sheet metal, so it won't last forever if you're driving a car every day, but from out I drive this car, it'll probably last for a while. So I'm back up under the front, still trying to come around. Oh, I brought in this pipe. This is a bigger pipe. This is like almost 2-inch, but it's got some multiple bends here. I might be able to use a little bit of this, but it's a little large. I think I cut this up to make the exhaust for my Model A coupe, the 4-banger. I think I used this, but got a bunch of pieces of pipe now. I'm going to go under and do some more cutting and figuring. I got to make the flange for the driver's side. That pipe's got to come down, kick to the block, then kick around tight. So I'll need some, I think an over the axle bend would snake around there if I lay it on the side. The passenger side, I still haven't done anything past bolting the flange on, but I got to get through there. That shouldn't be too bad. I'm starting to make the driver's side pipe. I took that crossover pipe from the 40 manifold I had, and now I've made it. I cut it off, I shortened it, and I've swung it around 90 degrees. So now I've got a pipe that's looking back. It goes on the motor like this. Sits on the motor flat, so it's at an angle. It kicks around the steering box right here. It's kind of pointing at the oil pan. I'm going to come off with a bend around. I've got one of them tailpipes with the axle hoop. I'm going to come off, try to get up around, get in the frame with the next piece, and I'll show you what that looks like when I get it tacked up under the car. But slowly piecing things together here, and once I get the pipes kicked back under the car through that first cross member and get like a hanger mounted up, so I got them both stuck through there, then it'll be a lot easier to do the mid pipes and the tail pipes out the back. Well, this is coming out really awesome. It's taken me a while. I got about an hour or so in the hour and a half fitting this up, but check this out. The pipe comes around down off the manifold here, kicks around the steering box, rolls up in through the hole in the frame, and when I get the pipe out I'll show you, but I flatten the pipe down to an oval going through the frame so the clutch clears it, and then it comes out there and it points right at the hole where the pipe's going to stick through. I think I'm going to end the pipe here because it's going to be a struggle to fish it in and out. I'll make a connection here. I'm looking for like a stainless band clamp. Maybe I can just clamp around so I don't have to squeeze the pipe together, or I'll have to do a slip fit. But I'll make my connections here, so that's a good spot to work. It's got a big empty space where I can easily clamp it, and then it'll be like a spring-loaded clamp that'll bolt onto the hole in the cross member to hold the pipe from, so it's got some room to vibrate. But this was the hard side. I was really concerned, but it came out good. Cutting these tailpipes up worked out awesome. I used the over-the-axle pipe and just cut it and tweaked it a whole bunch of ways, and was able to roll that right through there really nice. Okay, here's the head pipe all welded up. Look at that. Awesome. I'm glad I made that connection halfway from that cross member to the floor, because I had a heck of a time getting this out from under the car. I basically had to steer the thing to the right so I could get the pitman arm out of the way. And then I had to like feed it down upside down, pull it through the floor out backwards to get it in the car. Maybe I'll take the camera under there and I'll show you how tough it is when I stick it back in there. But I welded it back up. I addressed it with a grinder a little bit just to clean up the weld some. But there we go. It's all, butt welded together, and it should be plenty strong enough. This is all I'm going to do to the pipe. I could paint them with like Earl Scheib exhaust. Not Earl Scheib. What do you call it? They make exhaust paint. They can clean the pipes up and paint. I'm just going to put them on bare. I mean, the pipes, they'll just end up looking like this anyway. So I'm going to fish this back under here. I did clean up this end, or I'm going to have the slip joint or the clamp, whatever I figure out, is going to go on there. I cleaned that up real nice with a wire wheel so it'll slip together nice. And I'll get out a new gasket and I'll bolt this up in there, and the driver's side pipe will be installed, ready for action. And then we'll build out the passenger side head pipe, get them back to the same length, and then I'll figure out where I'm going to go from there. So let's stick this in the car. All right, let's see if I can get this fish back in here. I don't know if you can see right here. This is the tail light and the brake light wires. I'm sorry, this is the lights for the brake light switch. I've got to unhook these from the brake light switch and pull them out of the hole in the frame so they're not near the exhaust, because they somebody stuck them through the frame there. I'll do that later. Let's see if I can refish this in here. It's a struggle. Let's see. Somehow it works. Something like that, maybe? Oh yeah, it's coming. There we go. Don't pinch the wires. Okay. Aha, there we go. Now. Aha. There we go. Oops, I forgot to put the gasket on, but there you can see how the pipe fits in there perfect. And like I said, I'll move these wires out here outside the frame. This pipe will float, then I can put these wires. There must be a little clip in there that holds them up. Get them up out of the way. And yeah, oh, also, I don't know if you can see it here. This is a clutch. I hooked a, what do you call it? Bungee cord to it, so it pulled up, but that's why I flattened the pipe. So the clutch arm, you probably can't see it, but it clears the pipe. It might just touch it barely when it's all the way down, but I think when it goes all the way down, it doesn't quite get there. So this came out awesome. I fabbed up the passenger head pipe. A lot simpler than the driver's side. It's basically a straight shot. Look at that. I put the flange on and then got this bend coming, pretty tight bend to get in here because the manifold is angled coming off the block, so it's the frame rail's right here, so I had to make it pretty tight. But this thing's ready to go. I cleaned up the end where the connection's going to be, and the head pipes, I made them both the same length underneath the car. They end up just under your feet, and then the mid pipes will take off from there and go through the cross member back to the tailpipes. But let's get this, I'll bolt this up and then I'll take it back under the car and show you what it looks like, how the pipes are hanging out. But now I've got functional head pipes, where in theory I could start the engine now and get the exhaust out the back a little bit. But let me bolt this up on and we'll climb under the car. Hey, here's the passenger side bolted up here, and it comes down past the starter into the frame, through the frame hole, and then ends back here looking through the big hole where the stock single exhaust went through there. And you can see where the pipe's ending just before the last rib. If I roll over here to the driver's side, you can see the head pipe on the driver's side poking through the hole there, and it's leaving off right before the last rib. So the you can see them here. The head pipes are symmetrical underneath the car, so that's going to be awesome. So now, next step for me is you can see my fuel system over here with the electric fuel pump and a filter and another filter. I'm just double filtering it because I've got the original style tank in there from another car, and I'll make sure there's no junk in it. So I put another filter. I put a filter in line before the pump just so I can change it out, make sure there's no gunk in it. But the head pipes will go down and tie into the mid pipes, which will go through the, you can see in the frame, the oval there, straight back, and then up over the axle and straight out the back of the car. So that'll be shouldn't be as bad to build these, especially not like this driver's side one. They had to go around everything, but I think it came out pretty nice, and it's going to work good. I can't imagine these exhaust systems in the real world and salt and stuff on cars that people are driving every day. They're so thin. I bet you got maybe like a year or two out of the exhaust system before you had to replace it again. But on this car, it should last quite a while. I'm a professional. Don't try this at home.